Really?
Hello,
It's
hello.
not gonna let me play it? Anyway. Yeah, we don't need no countdown. Ben's
Yeah,
here,
yeah, we're here.
So Ben, you're an artist, you're a writer, you're, in purple.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in purple. I do a little bit of everything.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Where are you located
Actually,
at, Ben?
I'm in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Oh,
flat
very
country.
nice.
Yeah. I had an uncle
Yeah.
that lived in Shawnee, about 30 miles out of Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And
Nice.
I've been up to Miami. I think that's how you
Yeah.
say it.
Yep.
Which is
You're
kind of
correct. Yeah.
northern, sort of eastern northern of your state.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to call it Miami when I first moved here, and then I learned, eventually
Yeah.
Miami.
Right. Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, I got to go to actually stay on one of the reservations at the
Oh,
chief's,
cool.
one of the former chief's house, because I went with his son. He was my father-in-law at the time. It
Okay.
wasn't just me, but when we went to the old cemetery, some of those obelisk, that for the chiefs, and
Yeah.
just the difference. I mean, they went back to the 1850s, or so. Some of those.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat to go in a graveyard and see old markers like that.
Yeah. That's
So
really cool.
anyway, we're welcome to the 4 o'clock shadow. We're here with Ben
Thank you.
Soto, the great writer, creator of. Am I saying this right? Cephas.
Yes.
Right?
Cephas.
Cephas, good. I often get that wrong. The Cephas #1 on Fund My Comic. Why did you decide to go to Fund My Comic, Ben? Use that platform.
Yeah. I just so I used Indiegogo my first campaign, probably like 4 years ago or so.
Right.
And I just started to see how there was lots of people getting shadow banned. And right about the same time, Luke Stone came out with Fun My Comic. So I've been using it for the past 3 years, I guess.
Okay.
Oh,
So
awesome.
how many campaigns is this for you then?
On Fun My Comic, this is my third.
Your third on Fund My Comic. And what were your
Yeah.
previous ones that you had on?
I was doing anthologies. Matter of fact, I can grab them real quick. Let me
Sure.
step away for a second.
Halloween Head Comics. Well,
I might have backed
he's
some of these.
You may have, yeah. Elsie is in the house. Hello, all you
Hey, Lil.
weekenders. Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. Here is Ben's YouTube channel. If you want to go sub to him. What's up? Drawstream. Yes, we're going to do a
What's
Drawstream
up?
at 10
Hail,
tonight
Helder.
on the channel. So if you want to come draw with
Almost
us,
missed you there, Helder. Sorry.
you're welcome to come draw with us at 10.
So this was volume 1 right here.
Oh, Tricks and Treats. Oh, yeah.
Tricks and Treats, dude. I think I backed this.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you.
We've been playing your trailers every time they come out and whatnot.
Sweet. Thank you.
And,
I appreciate that.
Talk about, because we feature a lot of I'm over there on Fund My Comic, a lot of people
I love
know
old school horror and anthology type stuff, dude. So
yeah.
more.
So before we get
too.
into Cephas, your new
That's volume 2 here.
Oh, look at this. So
yeah, this is the Virgin cover.
Before we get
dude,
into,
I love that line work. That's great.
Yeah,
right up my alley, man.
And they look like thick books. They almost look
They
like trade paperbacks.
Yeah, they're over 100 pages.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm just amazed that these indie creators that create these big tomes for one issue. I'm like, what are you thinking? I don't know. You got a lot to say, but why don't you break it up and then compile it into a trade? I don't know.
Got a big story
I'm
in
not
their head.
breaking it, but I'm a lot of people within the indie scene seem to go for these larger issues. Is your thinking on that, Ben? And this just individually for you, for other creators, it may be different reasons, but is it because, here's my best stab at it, is that the more you give them on an issue, the greater you're going to hook them and they'll come back, or I mean, because you've got a lot to convey. They've got to learn to take these 2-dimensional characters and somehow interweave them into something personal that people want to read, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it's hard, especially when it's a number one issue and you're introducing a character to get a
Mhm.
person hooked, and you've probably got a lot to say to
Yeah.
introduce the character and the world that they're in. So I can see why, it happens.
And Hail Ryan in the chat.
LZ sub to your channel, so that's good. You got picked up a sub anyway. Halloween
Nice.
Head Comics, yes. How'd you come up with that?
Yeah, so my brother and I were kicking around different names, different ideas, and
Hmm.
he heard a song by Ryan Adams, not Brian Adams, but Ryan Adams, and the song is called Halloween Head. And so he's like, "Hey, check
Okay.
this out." So I listened to the lyrics, and the lyrics go something like, "I've got a Halloween head; it's full of tricks and treats." And I think, "Well, that's perfect. That's awesome. So let's call ourselves Halloween Head Comics."
Oh well, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So he hasn't hinted at it, but Shadowhawk's angry Shadowhawk because of the car dealers, the car parts.
Oh, dude, and I don't want to get
Okay.
into
Got
it.
you.
It's just
Okay, it's a bad
crazy,
ending, huh?
crazy lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
It's the first
Oh.
time I've ever had this happen. I mean, if you want to hear it, I can break it down real quick. I got my
I was
third
just
cylinder
bringing
on
it
my
up.
car. Okay, we'll go back. Forget.
If you're, I can't believe. Let's see what you get by upgrade. I can't believe I can't play a video. I can't play my trailer.
Wow, that sounds like a great
We're
upgrade.
going with free StreamYard till I use up 20 hours,
Yeah.
and then I'll buy another. But I just can't. If they're going to give you 20 hours, you might as well use them. But it's always a hassle.
Right.
It's always a hassle with them.
Yeah.
I don't like that they upped StreamYard, by half. I mean, they doubled it just overnight. Didn't
Right.
tell
Yeah.
anybody. Not a good move. I think a lot of people have probably been leaving them in droves. I know other people went to Restream or other,
Right.
platforms. Um, gosh, but they're limiting. I don't remember being limited like this where I can't even play I can play your video, I'm sure, but the ones that I have saved
Oh,
over
good
here,
lord.
I can't even
Oh
play
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I can't even play my own trailer. I guess I could if I went over to the campaign. Uh, Ben looks like a little bit like Jim Lee. Okay, wow.
Hey, I'll take it. I just wish I could draw
Yeah,
like him.
yeah. And I do have your campaign here, Cephas,
High praise.
#1.
Yeah.
Now does this tie in with Trick or Treats,
Well, I
or is
did
it Trick and
debut.
Treats? Yeah.
Yeah, Tricks and Treats. Yeah, I did debut the character in Tricks and Treats. Like the first 14 pages of this book
Okay.
were in Tricks and Treats Volume 2 as an
Uh-huh.
introduction. And but you don't have to go back and get Tricks and Treats 2. I'm putting those pages in this spin-off issue. So it'll all be included.
Hail Jinko in the chat.
So how would you characterize your overall work that you're doing? Sort of like gothic horror or what? How would you classify it?
That's a good question. It's action horror is what I call it, because
Okay.
I'm doing something like when my brother and I talked about this story, he likened it to what's the name of that movie? I'm drawing a blank. Almost like John Wick.
Yeah.
Like it's a character that's out for revenge,
Okay.
and but I don't see it because I've never seen John Wick.
Yeah.
But I do get it because it is a revenge story, but at the same time, he crosses paths with a kid who needs his help because he's running from the werewolves. A pack of werewolves are after him.
Yeah. So you got lycanthropy in your books.
Yeah.
What else? It looks like you got vampires or what? You got the whole universal set of monsters or what?
Something like that. So in the first issue, it's just going to be vampires and werewolves. And the second issue, I've got some slayers planned out and some skinwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
In the third issue, we're going to have fallen angels, and then in the fourth issue, we're going to bring in like a Lovecraftian type creature.
Yeah, it was Lovecraft's birthday just the other day, maybe a couple days ago.
And Hail K-pop in the chat. Nice to see.
Hey, K-pop.
I love you, Shadow. You wake up a brand new man every day. It's like,
That's right.
you do. You really do. Uh, yeah, I like to cover birthdays sometimes, on the channel. And today is Miss I Dream of Jeannie's birthday. She's
Oh, nice.
94 years old. I think she's
Wow.
94. As soon as I say
94?
that, somebody will go, "No, she's not 90 anymore. She's only 92, Rex," or something.
Holy shit.
See if I can find where it said her date of birth here. But so
What's her
Cephas
real
was
name?
Oh, what's her real name?
Yeah.
Barbara Eden?
Barbara Eden. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Little
don't
bit
think that's her
before your
real name.
time,
I
my
think that's a
friend.
stage name, but
Yeah, 94. Yeah, Barbara
Wow.
Eden's 94. And one of the television
she
channels.
was cuter than shit, man. And she
Yeah.
still, I saw a picture of her, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, when I guess she was in her 70s. She was still cute.
There you go. There she is at 94 or
She
somewhere
looks
about
good for
Oh
her
my
age.
God.
Yeah.
Holy
Mhm.
shit. For 94? That can't be a current day picture.
Okay. You know what? No walker? What do you want to see?
No,
Get back in your
dude, there's
bottle.
no
I'm
way.
Teeth
sorry.
falling
I'm
out. Yeah.
sorry.
That's a picture from like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do this,
Right.
you know what it's all
She
about.
was a beautiful girl, though. I love that Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She
Larry
was. So was
Hagman.
Elizabeth Montgomery. Was that her name from?
Oh yeah, yeah. What's your face from Bewitched?
National
Bewitched.
Velvet.
Yes. Yeah.
What was her
Virginia
name?
Woolf.
Shit.
Who would you trying to think of?
The
Joan
main
Rivers?
girl from Bewitched.
Wasn't
Barbara
it
Eden?
Elizabeth Montgomery?
Oh,
Or
Elizabeth
yeah.
Montgomery, but what was her name
Montgomery.
on the
Yeah.
show? It was
Sabrina? Wasn't it? Sabrina?
no, Samantha.
Samantha. That's right. There we go.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I was like, I can't remember her name. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Barbara Eden still goes to some cons.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wonder if she still dresses up in the genie gear,
That'd be something.
like
A
some
sight to see.
Spanx on and shit. You know,
Right.
I doubt it. Yeah.
Keep it all tight.
I'd at least wear the little genie shoes, right?
Yeah.
As long as they're comfortable.
she's toting around a big old bottle.
That was the only big person I saw had a birthday today, but I'm sure there's others. But I found this hilarious. Let's see, I'm not
Hey,
sure.
I bet. What's that?
Here we go. Bring it up.
Oh man.
There it is. Yours.
Yours. That's funny.
Look like the old Jaws poster.
Yeah.
She's like, I actually got things done today and posted that, And
Funny.
I actually got some things done today. I ordered everybody that either backed my ash can a couple years ago or my current campaign on Fund My Comic gets a certified membership card, Devil Flyer fan club card, if you will. Charter member. This entitles you to free stuff from now on in the mail sent to you at random, like decoder rings and all kinds of stuff.
Very cool.
So going old school. And I ordered 100 of these top loaders today. So making progress.
Very nice.
Yours had 3 sequels. Hey, Apex Comics in the house. People piling in here.
Hey, Apex.
And hear about his awesome project, Cephas #1. So give us your little rundown about what this is about. You said he made his first appearance already in one of your other books. Do you have a catch-up tier on this for those other books?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I left them out because I'm down to like like 3 or 4 copies of the first volume of Tricks and Treats.
Okay.
And you can still get volume 2 on Fun My Comic. Like I've got it in storefront mode.
Okay.
Yeah. So the
Was
story is
that
about
an
this.
original, or is that like a second printing, or you gonna do a
It's
second
original.
printing? Okay.
No, I haven't done a second printing. It's still the original copies.
Yeah, I noticed you've been putting stuff like for this project on X for a
Yeah.
while now, for like maybe the last couple of months or more,
Rex,
and
slow down.
it looks badass to me. You know,
Thank
just
you.
to cut,
Thanks.
This art is fire, man. Slow down a little bit.
Choppy ass Rex. Here we
Good Lord,
go.
let us have a look at it.
Yeah, yeah. There's an owl up on that branch.
Yeah.
Ah, Wolden shot snuck in.
Who's your color? Now, you're an artist and a writer, so I take it you wrote it. Are you also
Yeah.
are you all, you're not the artist on this project though, are you?
No, I'm the colorist though. I
the
color
colorist.
all of our books. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, this was drawn by Mario Williams. He's a buddy of mine here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've known each other for about 15 years, and he wanted to work with me on something. So,
And he did
decided,
cover A here, and then you got
right.
Oliver to do cover B.
Yeah.
And where's he an artist out of? Oh, he's
I think
part of
he's in the
the
Philippines. I think so.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
And how did you meet up with him?
He's been around the scene because he's done some artwork for John Malin. I think he did
Mhm.
some sketch cards for him.
Cephas
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like a bad burn victim.
He is. It's exactly what he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So he's a vampire, and he's an outcast vampire because he doesn't like to take the life of people. He likes to drink, animals' blood. So he's an outcast. And one day he gets back too late, to hide out from the sun, and his fellow coven leave him out to burn, to die out in the sun. But he survives. And so when his skin heals and it becomes rock hard. And
Nice.
it's almost like armor. So he's almost like Luke Cage, but a vampire.
He's got 3rd-degree sunburn.
That's right. He did not use any lotion.
It looks like you
Should
might
have put
have
on
the origin
that
in
SPF,
this.
man. Damn.
Exactly. And I wanted that out there so people could read, about the character and see his origin story.
No, I like it. It's very cool. I love the fact that he gets like a carapace out of it,
Yeah.
Here's your lizard representation today, Lorenzo. Right there's a lizard on the rock in that second panel. Very awesome. I like the layout of that page. Do you do like thumbnail layouts for your artist, or do you like say, okay, here's the story, here's the script, go to it?
Yeah, I gave him the script, and this is all Mario. I want him to have fun with it and enjoy the process. Matter of fact, there was like a splash page that I wrote, and he's like, "Can I turn this into a double splash?" And I was like, "Dude, go for it. Whatever feels right."
Dude, this art is, Mario is great. Look at that.
Yeah. And I see you're using the same letterer as I am, Keith Gleason. He's really good.
He really is good.
From Mighty Mascots fame, we know Keith.
Yeah.
He's always smiling.
Both really nice people.
He looks like a happy kingpin,
Yeah. Yeah, like if Kingpin didn't go bad, that'd be Keith Gleason.
Who did your logo?
My logo was done by Nick Welch.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I think we've had him on.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He is a colorist on Red Koi for Alterna Comics.
Alterna. Yeah, I've got one of Nick's original pieces, I think, in a sketch cover or something that he did.
Nice.
Was one of the
that
first
werewolf
things
kicked ass, Apex.
34 backers, $934. You got 69 days to go on this. You think you're going to go in demand, which is kind of storefront after that, or are you just going to shut it down?
I think I will go into storefront afterwards.
Yeah,
I'm gonna probably pause it once we hit the date, October 31st, and I'm gonna make sure all my backers get their books first. That they won't ship out until January, and so once they get all their books out, then I'll go into storefront mode.
Are you trying to do one book a year, 2 books a year? What's kind of like your plan that you've been working?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to do more, but because
Mhm. When
we
we
both have
all
day jobs, you know.
right. Yeah.
Like if this was my full time job, yeah, I think we could knock out more. But one a year, I think, is what we're going with.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're doing these big, thick books, you know. It I it just blows my mind. Hey, Carrie, why um people do these big, thick things.
Yeah, well,
I suppose
this one's not
you want to give it
that
to
thick.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this one's only 34 pages. You
Okay.
know, so it's not a big book. My
Yeah.
past ones were, but that's because they were anthologies, and we
Yeah.
had like 6 or 7 stories in each book.
So
And
what do you've probably been around enough to hear the buzz that anthologies don't sell,
oh yeah,
although I'm doing an anthology. My book's an anthology.
yeah,
I
I've
like
been
anthologies. And if you look at Golden Age superhero stuff, it was all anthology. You had the big
right.
characters, like you'd have Hawkman and the Flash in Flash comics, and then you would have minor characters underneath them. It
Yeah,
was all
yeah,
anthologies back then. I don't
yeah,
know why. I think if anthologies are like anything else, if it looks good and it's the art grabs you, but the story will keep you, hopefully,
right.
then people will like it and come back for some more. It
Exactly.
but it takes a while really to lay a good foundation and good characterization. And I think once that character becomes a personality
Hmm.
to that reader, then you've got them hooked. You know
Right.
because that you somehow conveyed what you were trying to say with that character and not
Yeah.
just fake it, with fight scenes and stuff. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
I think you got to care about. You can look at a movie and if the characterization, if you don't care anything about the characters, it might be, well, they had great fight scenes, but I really didn't care whether they anything about it, at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard someone
So
once say if the character doesn't care, then the reader won't care.
yeah. How did you get into comics? How did you start reading comics, or did you?
Yeah, when I was around, I'll say around 11 or so, I had a teacher who had a rack of comic books in the back of the classroom. And
Wish
whenever
I
we
had
got
that
done,
same teacher.
yeah. And so whenever we got done with our schoolwork early, she would say, you can go back and read comics or hang out in the fun space.
Yeah.
So she had like puzzles and different stuff back
And so
there.
what kind of titles would she God help us if it was all Archie.
She had Amazing Spider-Man, she had Justice League,
Wow.
um, a bunch of great comic books,
Yeah.
and being a bored kid, I was like, okay, so I went back there and just kind of flipped through them. It didn't really, hit me all that much. I was just kind of like, it's kind of weird. It kind of feels like soap operas, in comic book form. But it
Yeah.
wasn't until I was like a year later, because I was 12 years old, that my dad came to pick me up from school one day, and he's like, "Hey, I got these for you from the flea market." So like, all right, so it was like a pack of comic books. I tore them open, and there was Batman, and Batman
Now
is
when
really
you
the one
say
that.
pack of comic books, was that like one of those polybag where they had more than one issue polybag sets?
Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
4 or 5 comics, and it had like the
Uh-huh.
DC Comics backer board that would stick
Mhm.
out with like a little banner on it, had the Batman symbol on it.
Mhm.
And so that's really what got me into comic books. And so the first comic book that I like initiated, that I went and said I want a comic book, was we went to the HEB in Texas, and they had a GI Joe comic book. So I asked my parents, "Is it okay if I get a comic book?" They're like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead."
Yeah.
And I was hooked ever since.
Now were you watching G.I. Joe on TV?
I was a GI Joe fan. I had a whole bunch of the action figures.
Yeah.
Same with He Man. Huge He
Yeah, I
Man fan.
mean, when I look at my own history, which is further back than yours, but I was watching like Space Ghost, Johnny Quest,
Yeah,
Herculoids, and then Super Friends and Thundar the Barbarian and other things like that as time went along. You know, I, long before I read a comic book, I saw this superhero stuff and loved it on TV. And I think that's probably the way it is in our day, you know.
yeah,
Um, you get exposed to that. I remember seeing an Avengers book when I first started collecting, and seeing the beast from behind, and he had his hair up like this, and from
Right. Yeah.
behind he's blue, so is Batman, and he's got
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, he kind of looks like Batman.
Yeah.
I
Right.
remember that thought in my head,
Yeah.
just on that Rich Buckler cover, Um, so I knew who Batman was. Of course I did. I watched Batman 1966 on TV with Adam West. And I also watched the Filmation cartoons and saw him in the Super Friends. So long before I had a track record with superheroes before I started reading,
Right.
got indoctrinated early and I loved it, uh, and you were probably like He-Man and
Yeah.
Silverhawks and
He-Man,
and
Transformers, G.I.
and
Joe, Voltron. Yeah.
Thundercats,
Yeah.
Voltron, yeah,
Thundercats. Yeah.
probably Robotech, things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, good stuff. I mean, and some of it
Yeah.
made it into the comics. They even had.
Right.
I know I've got a How to Draw Robotech comic book that they came out with.
Oh,
Those
cool.
how to draw comic books, actually, those are kind of fun to collect because people want them. They start going
Yeah.
up in value because they want to know how to draw that stuff. You know,
Right.
it's kind of scratches the reading itch and the artist itch in the person.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Definitely.
was what's your favorite character? Were you primarily a Marvel or DC guy or what?
Yeah. So even though I started like reading Batman from the beginning,
Mhm.
I really fell in love with Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man was my favorite go-to book.
Yeah,
I think it was David Michelini was writing it. Mark Bagley had just jumped on as penciler right after Eric Larson,
yeah.
and
Did you
that's
get
about the.
Young Warriors that he did so many of?
Yes, I did. The New Warriors. Yeah, I went back and I
Yeah.
picked up some of those. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
was just a huge fan of his.
With Bagley artwork. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
an artist that really hasn't changed his style over the years that much.
No, yeah. It's really consistent.
There's some that's kind of morphs and changes over time, but he's kind of like Ron Friends. He hasn't
Yeah.
changed that much, you know.
Right.
Although I'm in awe of how Ron can kind of mimic other artists like Stevie Ditko or something like that if he needs to. He's
Right.
like one of those artists that can kind of mimic the style and make it look
Yeah.
like the other artists.
Yeah,
I've seen
definitely.
him do that before. Uh, so you've been in this for a while, and would you say anthologies sell or they don't sell or somewhere in
Um,
between?
I would say it's
What's
a
your
niche.
opinion on it? Yeah.
It's definitely a
Is it?
niche group. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
so. I think people are wanting something fun, quick, and easy to get into and get out of.
Yeah, somebody said that, I would rather see one character,
Right.
in a book and I'm like, why? When you can have a whole universe of characters,
Right.
interesting
Yeah.
things going on. In
Yeah.
fact, for me, I'm like showing you some characters when they're old and when they're young,
Oh, cool.
telling their stories in different timelines so that you can develop the character quicker. And,
Right.
some of the mistakes they may make when they're younger, then you can kind of riff on that in the older stories, when it's
Right.
like, yeah, I learned from that situation. And,
Right.
relate to previous stories and other people know what you're talking about.
Oh,
It's
yeah, that's a
just
really
a
cool idea.
it's just a device, and then I mean
Yeah.
you know examining storytelling. I think you can start the story anywhere you want. I mean, Star Wars is a perfect example of that. I was scratching my
Yeah.
head at first with chapter 4. From the very beginning when I saw it was
Right.
12, 13 years old. I was like, 4? What happened to the
Right.
other 3? But
Right. Right.
and then when we got the other 3, we didn't want them.
Yeah.
Go back to the puppets.
Right. Very true. Yeah.
They're not that bad. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not that bad. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, comics should be fun. That I guess
Yeah.
that's what you're trying to capture with Cephas and Trick and Treats, or I hope I say the title right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, um, kind of recapture your childhood and channel it into something.
Right.
Now you mentioned your brother. Does he kind of help you?
Yeah, he definitely does. He's both an artist and a writer as well. and he wrote and drew some of
I'm
the
glad you
stories.
said that, because if you'd said, "Go get me a donut and some coffee," and it's
Right,
Mr. Gopher, I would have
right,
lost
right.
respect.
No, yeah. He's definitely a contributor, and
Yeah.
I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah, so
These
you
are good
I
books.
see you guys probably sitting around, drinking a soda or something and brainstorming different
Yeah,
ideas. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the thing is, like, we really don't step on each other's toes. Like, I let him develop the stories he wants to tell, and I'll develop the stories I want to tell,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll run it past each other, and we might give each other, some help if we're asking for help, but if not, um, everybody, like, we both have autonomy, over each story. So
Now, when you evaluate an artist that you want to work with, right, you kind of have to evaluate his strengths, because you can write anything, but are they
right,
capable of depicting it like you want? You know,
right, yeah,
so you
yes,
do have a limitation unless you're working with George Perez, or
right,
somebody. Yeah,
exactly, yeah,
that's capable,
no, definitely,
especially in the
and
indie scene. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of people want to do comics, but can they? I mean, a cover and sequential arts are two different sciences. You know,
right, yeah,
wouldn't you say?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's a storytelling is totally different from just doing a pinup and just
Mhm.
showing off what you can do.
What are comic books to you? How do you define a comic book and what it
Um,
is in your own personal life?
yeah, it's a good question. I would say it's visual
I
storytelling.
tried asking bad questions at one time, but it went nowhere.
Yeah,
So I just,
you're right.
I think
You
that's
decided to
much
go with the
better.
good ones. Yeah,
Yeah. I checked the expiration date.
right. Put the bad ones in the trash can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah. I'd say it's a visual medium, and it's sold through pictures. It's and each panel, each page is an art. It's
Mhm.
as an artist, I just enjoy looking at that stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hate that we can't, like you said, your teacher had a spinner rack in the back. I'm I wish that we still had spinner racks out there and comics
Yeah,
out there for kids. I think it'd be a better world. Um,
yeah,
and you can't walk into a pharmacy or grocery store anymore and go, wow, and discover new universe. You know,
yeah,
I think modern day mythology, and then also role models, positive role models, are too
yeah.
few and far between nowadays. We could
Very
use
true.
a good superhero or a good story anytime.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it really is our modern mythology, kind of like
Yeah,
Hercules and other characters back in the back would have been, for the
yeah,
Romans, Greeks. But it's, I don't know. It's also that your inner person wanting to project yourself into those situations, and isn't that what we kind of do in dreams, where you kind of like an observer of stuff going on sometimes, but then
right,
sometimes you're a participant as well.
right. No,
I I,
definitely.
I think it speaks to the human psyche,
Yeah,
not to get all Freudian about it, but it's I actually cried when Jean Grey died in the Dark Phoenix saga, and I'm like, wow, that was one of the most powerful things I've ever read. And
yeah,
if I went back and read it today, it might have been sophomoric, but at that time, it impacted me. And I was
right.
around, I guess I was around, maybe junior in high school, somewhere around there. Not quite
Yeah,
high school age, but um, it made an impact. I was like, wow, but you are right. That's very astute of you to say that it's like a soap opera.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
but with
definitely was.
crowdfunding, you really have to rethink the cliffhanger, don't you? The ending,
Yeah,
because you can't keep people hanging for a year on
right.
something major.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I guess you can, but that's kind of tailor made for the monthly or bi monthly, isn't it? Not necessarily
right.
a crowdfunding type thing. You kind of have to do them, do the stories. You drop little threads, right? But you can't nothing too major left over. You kind of have to resolve it
Right.
all into one issue, don't you?
Yeah, somewhat. You do want to, like you said, leave that thread there so that they want to pick up the next issue.
Mm-hmm. And so, how did Cephas kind of come? The impetus for Cephas come about?
I created him back when I was like 17 years old or so.
Mhm.
I was really into vampires and I wanted to create something different. And
Mhm.
so, because, I didn't want one of these pretty sparkly vampires. I wanted somebody who looked like a monster.
Yeah.
And that's what Cephas is. He looks like a monster. His skin's been burned. So
Mhm.
here's this guy who made a decision to become immortal, but instead of looking, his same age for the rest of his
Like
life,
the seducer, debonair
right
Dracula character.
now he's
He's
forever scarred by the sun, and he
right.
just looks like a monster now. And he has to deal with that. He has to
Yeah.
live with that mistake.
But he, even though his skin's hardened, he's still sensitive to light like other vampires, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much,
Enough light will destroy him though, right?
possibly. Yeah,
And with vampires, you're on a razor's edge there. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I mean, Blade's
right.
obviously a good guy, but he's got some
Yeah,
hang-ups, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So
With
so
Cephas,
where's Cephas fall?
yes, with Cephas, he's like I said, he was an outcast vampire because he still had some of those that's respect for life. He didn't want to take a life, almost like a vegetarian in a way. You want to think of it that way.
Right. Right.
And so he didn't want to take a life, but at the same time, he doesn't have any emotions. Like once you become a vampire, you lose your soul, you lose your emotions, your capacity
Mhm.
for compassion. And so he's dealing with that, like because he has the head knowledge of right and wrong, but
He's
he
got a
doesn't feel it.
conscience. Yeah.
Right. But he doesn't feel it. He doesn't have that emotion.
Mm.
Yeah, Omar Glitch says the vegan gross. Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why he was an outcast. Yeah.
He preys on cucumbers and eggplant.
That's right. Exactly.
That might have happened in Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew, but not here, folks.
Yeah. Right.
What age group is for this written for? Would you
I would
think?
say I would say 13 and up.
Okay. I
Yeah.
never considered that till John Chen asked me that. I was like, what is
Yeah.
my comic? Yeah, I never considered that.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing to keep in mind,
Definitely. Yeah,
what
it's good
is
to know the audience
they're
you're writing
kinda going
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's people that go pedal to the metal all the way, and do a Texas
Right.
Chainsaw Massacre gore type thing. But,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, yeah, I could do something like that, but I'm not that type of person.
Exactly.
Why
Yeah.
aren't you drawing something more akin to Spider-Man if you like Spider-Man? How did you wind up doing the monstrous type of stuff?
I think my brother and I both had this love for like HP Lovecraft
Mhm.
characters, monsters, that universe. We even played like the board game,
Yeah.
and also like the Universal monster movies,
Yeah.
Boris Karloff stuff. We love
Isn't that
classic
amazing? After about
monsters.
100 years, they're still holding up.
Yeah, I know they're great movies. Frankenstein,
Mhm.
it's a great movie.
Yeah. I wish
Um,
our newer movies were just as good, and as
yeah,
much planning and thought, went
right.
into them.
Yeah, they just don't have that. I don't know what you'd call it.
So if Ben Soto was bitten or um, made in a laboratory or whatever, what kind of monster would you want to be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like the creature from the Black Lagoon. I think that's my favorite Universal monster
Yeah.
movie, and so I got to
So
go with
you
him.
could kind of come out and do this all the time,
Right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
and chase the pretty girls in bathing
look like
suits.
look like you're suffocating
Yeah,
while you're out of water.
exactly. Yeah,
That is an amazing movie.
yeah,
That they had two people play
yep,
the creature, one on land and one in the water.
yeah,
And the guy in the water, he could hold his breath over 4 minutes for some of those shots.
yeah,
Wow. And when you
yeah,
see him, he's not only holding his breath, but that would be something to just be still and in the water for 4 minutes. That'd be hard enough. But he's
Right.
doing all this, in the
Right.
water.
He's acting it out. Yeah.
He's acting it out the whole time, and it's amazing
It
that
is. It really is.
you could find somebody that can dive like that, and hold his breath
Yeah.
like that with that suit. And then you got to get it off of him and get some air in there quick when he
Yep.
comes up.
Yeah.
I got to give it to those guys that did that.
Yeah.
And I know kind of coming through the cave entrance, he was
Mhm.
carrying the babe, and he actually hit. There's pictures of her then bandaging her head because he in that
Oh,
suit you can't
really?
see, and bopped her
Yeah.
head, on the setting.
Oh no, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that Julie Adams? Yeah.
And the original was in 3D.
Yeah.
And on the second one, The Creature Returns, that was Clint Eastwood's first movie role. He's right
really?
at the beginning of the movie. He's like a lab guy, with a white lab suit.
That's
on.
right.
He's got he's got a mouse in his pocket.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got several lines in that. I thought, wow,
Right.
what a great first, for a nobody.
Right. Yeah.
I know Van Cleef that was in like Good and the Bad and the Ugly and movies like
Mhm.
that. He was in one of the Godzilla movies, as a sharpshooter. So
Oh, really? Okay.
it's amazing when you watch those old movies I
Yeah.
know that guy, or that gal or whatever. I never knew they did that. Hey, Tree Goblin.
Right.
So this is really good. We're coming up on October and Halloween. Is Halloween a big thing at your house every year?
You would think so, but it really isn't because I work all day, and so
Yeah.
I usually just come
Yeah.
out in the evenings,
Yeah.
turn on the light. My wife and I will like throw out like the the
Yeah.
Halloween welcome mat and set out the jack-o'-lanterns real quick. And
Now you look
we'll
like you might have some Native American blood in you because you're from Oklahoma, and there's a lot of
right.
Native Americans that live in Oklahoma.
Yeah, there is. It's possible, but my last name is Spanish. It's Soto. It's Soto.
okay.
It's De Soto. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Soto, Alpha de Soto. So
Yeah.
I guess somewhere your name probably your family name kind of went through a name change, probably, huh?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I found out my history from my sister recently, and our last name's been changed twice. Once
Oh, wow.
after the Revolutionary War, and then once when they came to the state of Arkansas where I'm at. So we're not that far away. Of course, I know.
No, we're neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah. Has it been hot over there?
Yeah, today wasn't too bad. Today was like 94, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of cooled off here too, and fortunately, because it's been like 98 with a heat index of, 110 or better.
Yes. Yeah. It's been like that here too.
Soto, he eats a lot of tacos, Homer Glitch says. Tacos are great, man.
Yeah, I love tacos.
I make a run for the border. I'm not afraid, Ben's show is taco gut. That's why he's hiding it in the chin down. Come on, man. Homer, tell you what. Well, your campaign looks great. It's been very eye-catching from the very beginning. I really appreciate all the hard work that you put into,
Thank you.
In dropping these things on X quite regularly. As a lead up. I think it's important to have a lead up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do this stuff in a vacuum. So this is number 1 of 4 in a mini series. See, I think that's another thing that you're doing right, is that it's a mini series. I think, during the 80s, that was one of the things that kind of was prevalent of the 80s. You had like those Punisher miniseries, first with Mike Zeck and then with Klaus Janson. You had the Machine Man and Cloak and Dagger, Gargle, you name it. They had
right.
And I think, for crowdfunding, like I said, we're not privy to be able to do a monthly schedule, which really we don't want to, because we don't want to be on a deadline like that. We want to be able to put our best foot forward and our best work into it, right? And that takes time. It just does.
Yeah, it does.
And I think I think for a lot of crowdfunders, if they said, well, Rex, what do you think personally is your feeling about the best advice you could give me about crowdfunding? It's like, take your time and do it
Yeah.
right. You know, give yourself time to think through every nook and cranny and avenue. Don't just delay things, but really be thinking about it and what voice you want to carry. You know,
Right. Yeah.
what do you really want to say? And
Yeah.
if it means something to you, chances are it's going to mean something to your readership. And I
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
too many people are just like money grab. I just want to get something out there. And I got this character and I got this story I want to tell. You read it and it's like, yeah, me, I don't know.
Yeah.
There wasn't much fluff. I don't know.
Right.
If it meant something to the writer to get that out, I'm sure. But I, as a reader, wasn't that engaged.
Right.
You know, and the big two do it as well. We know that they're doing it
Yeah.
more and more nowadays.
Yeah.
It, I'm not afraid to take a chance, but I think a lot of these crowdfunders are like, gamble on a long shot.
Yeah.
No,
Right. Right.
bring your heat. Bring your best game, your A game. And it looks
Yeah.
like you have. That you kind of put a little bit of what you discovered in comics and your passion for comics
Right.
into it. And I think people are going to see that. I
Yeah.
think I can't tell you when you're on shows, different platforms,
Mhm.
and thank you for coming on, by the way,
Yeah. Of
tonight.
course. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. Um, like I said, you've done the legwork, by getting it out there even
Right.
before you launched. Where did you
Yeah.
launch this, by the way? On your own channel or?
No, I launched it on Julius's channel.
Okay.
Lucid Press. Julius Freeman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good response. Were you happy with the first day results or?
Yeah, it was decent. I wasn't expecting anything huge. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think doing Comics Gate Live was huge for the book.
I think a lot of people want to see the passion of the creator. If you're passionate about your work and you get out there
Right.
and you talk about it as if you're passionate about it, then they pick up on that. I think
Yeah,
that's one of the
definitely.
big thing that I got this comic book and
Right.
I'm doing it. Kill me now. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
Unless it looks like Del Keown, then I might
Right.
give you a pass on that. But you got to be able to. You can't be like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, you
Right.
can't be like Mike Pence. There, I said it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I always thought he had the personality of cardboard. It's
I can
like
see
he's
that.
not
Yeah.
overly dramatic, charismatic, or anything like that. It's just like you get what you get.
Definitely.
Jeez. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think this is some of Mario's best work, and as an artist, and for me as well as a colorist, this is some of my best colorist work that I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the best I've ever done.
Yeah. It really is. It really is.
Yeah. So what is in influence? How long you been coloring?
I started when I was in college, with one of the
that
very
was only
first
2 years
Photoshops.
ago. You can't be more than 12. You still look
Right.
young.
Right. Yeah. No, man,
Yeah.
I'm 45, going on 46.
Oh gosh, you're an old man.
I am an old man. I'm falling apart.
Yeah. 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 You must have grew up in a freezer because you look well preserved, sir.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. The first 50 backers will receive a limited edition trading card, and here it is by Fabrizio. Fabrizio's done things from Alterna, but he's on his own now, right? We've had Fabrizio on. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a creator of H.H. Hoover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
You talk about a gothic look. His has got,
yes. Yeah.
even though it's a wild premise for a character with a vacuum on his head. I think, your vampire character could go toe to toe with like a character like Joe Sontag's character or something,
Right.
He's got that, if he was blue with that cloak, I might say Mumra.
Yeah, I can
A little
totally see
bit,
that.
you know,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit, you know. Um, Purple trees, though. Where's this take place? Is this on Earth?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a night scene.
Yeah.
Just a color choice to
Well, I
represent the
mean,
night.
Superman's hair is black and blue, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. It's like Superman's got blue hair. Really? Okay. But it works, you know. It's comic book logic, folks.
That's right.
That's what I say. It's comic book logic. So this is kind of like an origin story. I kind of got that just by looking at these pages.
Yeah.
But now it looks like we got a protaskinator. You know what I mean. That we've got a
Yeah,
villain
the
in this.
antagonist there. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so this is his origin story. This is where he gets turned into a vampire and how
And
that happens.
sunburned all in one day, it looks like.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted the readers to get a quick rundown of his origin and how he becomes who he is.
Yeah. Now, was any of that alluded to in the comic that he appeared in
Yeah.
for the first
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, that's what was in that book for the first time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said,
So
the
this
same
is
pages
kind of
will be
like
in
a
this book.
retelling of his origin
Right. Yeah.
in this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Quick synopsis, and then we move on to the main story. A little bit more
Right.
developing with it. Yeah.
Right.
Was it that this character kind of stood out, or that you and became popular with your readers that you wanted to do it, or was this always planned?
No, it wasn't planned.
character?
We did notice that we were getting a lot of likes whenever I'd post images of him.
Uh-huh.
Because with the anthology, I was posting like different images of all the different stories that were in the book. But anytime I post an image of him, like we got lots of likes, lots of people saying, you know, who's this guy? Who's this character?
Uh-huh.
And
Well, it
so
kind of
that's how.
stands out, you know.
Yeah, he's a little different looking.
Mm-hmm. And what are his weaknesses? I guess just your standard weaknesses of vampires, or
Yeah,
how do you kind of set it up? Because when it comes to vampire lore, you know, sometimes crosses work, sometimes they don't. Holy water and all that, I don't know, different stuff, and you may not even bring that into this, you know.
Yeah, no, with this, there's lots of decapitations in this story.
Okay. You got your digital copy for $5 there.
Yeah,
You've done very well with that, and
yeah,
cover A, cover B combo there. Not bad, not bad.
yeah.
What's the difference here? A and B?
Yeah, so the first one is A or B, like the single issue is $15.
Oh, okay. A or B. All right.
Right. And this is A and B.
Here's the combo. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And then you got a Magma full cover. Talk about that.
Yeah. So if you want to blow me up here, I can show you. I got a sample from the printer.
I'll blow you up.
There you go. Blow me up.
Wow, man.
Kaboom. Yeah. So that's the Magma foil cover.
Wow. You know, I love that. It's kind of got a rainbow sheen in the light.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's my favorite full that they do.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I just love it.
Looks like
it
magic.
Always pops. And it looks like wraparound. Let's see the back cover as well.
All right.
It's kind of neat. He looks like he's standing on that gargoyle, but it's kind of like he's almost standing on his logo too. That's pretty neat. I like the logo placement on that. Now, what's this pumpkin character on the back? Little Jack.
Little Jack. Yeah, so this is going to be a future project. This was done by Javier Saltares, who used to draw Ghost Rider for Marvel back in the day. So I got him to do this cover. And I wanted to see what it looked like in foil as well. So I had that put in the back.
Yeah. And it's good to give people a preview of upcoming stuff. So I guess this is probably his first cameo appearance.
Yes.
And maybe his first cover appearance, right? I mean, I would count that as a back cover, you know, as a cover.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That pops, brother. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's so cool to do that.
Yeah.
Can we see the inside?
Well, there's nothing.
Is that like a proof?
Yeah, it's just a sample from the printer.
Wow.
We're still working on the book, so it's not done
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Were you happy with the way it came out
Oh yeah,
overall?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 3 different versions. We got this magma, we got a lava, and just a regular flat foil. And so we went with the magma because that just looked great.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you had to pick from. Wow.
Yeah.
Little Jack looks dope as well, says
Thank
Ginkgo.
you. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Where's the campaign link? I could see it. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll drop it in the chat right now. There you go. Omer Glitz. I already got it. Boom.
Oh, thank you, Omer.
Over there on Fund My Comic. Of course, if you have any problems, Luke Stone will take care of you.
Yeah.
My book Devil Flyers over there as well, and several other people that we know, Fim Bat, and that's another vampire book by Apex, who's out in
Very
the
cool.
chat. Yeah, it looks like a great man. I love that cover. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bring this up. Look at some more of it. Yeah, magma polyvool cover. Is that what they call it? Really, magma?
Yeah.
Sort of magma design? Huh.
Yeah, because it's got those weird funky shapes, kind of like magma. I don't know.
So you on this tier, you get the magma holofoil and your
A
choice of
or
A
B.
and B. Yeah.
A or B, yeah.
Yeah.
And then for 50 for all 3.
Okay. And is there any more? Like on a
No,
second type? Is
no,
that
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kept it really simple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it needs to be all about the books, right?
Right.
But it's that's one thing that impresses me, that you can produce anything you want. Cephas
Yeah.
is a horror action comic about a vampire who was left for dead by his coven, scarred forever by the sun. His skin has
Mugrified.
mortified, okay, into a granite hard layer of armor like protection. Could he deflect a bullet?
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably not going to do much on a vampire anyway, right?
Right. Yeah.
Cephas begins his quest to destroy the vampires that betrayed him, but along the way comes across a boy who is marked by a pack of werewolves, motivated to spare the child from the path that his life took. He forsakes his personal quest to save the boy. See, that's a great setup. That's a great setup. He's got. You could probably tell that story where he's going after the vampires that turned him, right?
Right. Yeah.
But he hits a snag, and that immediately kind of disrails him into this with the werewolves and the boy and all that. And then
Yeah.
at some future time, I'm sure he'll get back to his quest, but
Right.
who knows? So
Yeah.
I'm sensing there might be another issue after this one. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah. I forgot
right,
about
yeah.
that.
So,
Yeah. Now,
right,
how
so-
are you going to do that now? Are you going to do tricks and treats, or are you going to do, are you going to alternate them? Or are you just all Cephas right now?
No, it's all Cephas right now and Little Jack.
Okay.
I'm writing Little Jack. I'm actually getting that edited by Aaron Sparrow. So he's
So
going
is
over
Little
that
Jack
script for
going to
me.
be on his own title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my brother's going to be drawing that one.
And have all your comics come under your logo, your
Yes.
brand?
Yeah.
And how many have you produced thus far?
Well, if you count
Do.
let me see. So we did like 3 single issues that we ended up putting into this anthology.
Okay.
So that would be 4, 5. So this is going to be 6, the 6th book that we put out.
Yeah. So
Cephas will be 6.
Your book rack is filling up quickly.
Right.
With your own stuff, isn't it? What's been the most rewarding thing since you gotten into comics, you think? For you personally?
When I go to conventions and like someone comes back and says, "Hey, I read that story and I really enjoyed it. You can do anything more like that." That's always great to hear.
Yeah. Return readership. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Do you do many conventions?
Not anymore. Like ever since COVID, I've kind of cut down to just like 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah. Are they all
Yeah.
there within your state of Oklahoma, or do you go outside the
Yeah.
state? Yeah.
No, just within the state. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, COVID kind of put a kibosh on, but I think they're back to normal, if not maybe even bigger. You
Yeah,
know,
it could be. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, San Diego Con, and others have
Right.
seemed like they've had pretty good attendance. This year.
That's what I
Um,
heard.
yeah, it's cool to see the cosplayers. That's what you need to do. You need to get cosplayers to. You got any sex appeal in this? You got some
No, there
sexy
really,
babes?
there really
Yeah.
isn't any babes in this.
Yeah. Well,
I
they
got
can
one
always
damsel in
be.
distress,
They
but
can
that's about
be
it.
like the Hammer girls, the victims. What's your
Right.
top favorite horror movies you think, Ben?
Ooh, Phantasm. I really like Phantasm.
With the ball,
The
the
silver
killer
balls.
ball?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was just such a trippy movie. Like those guys were probably high when they wrote that movie.
Right.
It's just so weird. So I like Phantasm. I like Halloween.
Yeah.
Mike Myers.
The original?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. And then I just absolutely love the Universal monster movies, like all of those. I
Yeah.
could watch those anytime.
They're hard to beat.
Yeah, they really are.
Mhm. Phantasm had balls.
Phantasm balls. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, 78 is dope. I haven't heard of 78. Do you do the Tulsa Comic Exchange?
Tulsa Comic Exchange.
He
No.
says, I know
Oh,
Nick.
yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Nick Goldtree, I think is his last name. Yes. Yeah, I did that 1 year. I haven't gone back yet, but yeah.
And since you cut your page count back, you think you're still going to be like doing one a year, or you think you probably pick the pace up?
If we can
A
pick the
little
pace
bit?
up, we
Yeah.
will. Like I said, it is just because of work, like during the daytime, and like we both
Yeah.
have families.
Sure.
Life happens. Like my
Right.
mother passed away not too long ago, just like 2 months ago, and I was going back and forth between Oklahoma and Texas, and
Wow.
just stuff like
Yeah.
that happens, and you just can't account for it.
Sure.
So I'm going to say one a year, but if we can do better than that, we definitely will.
All right. Carrie says, I'm going to pout. She's probably asking about international shipping. Going to share out campaign page. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
Ben, are you going to make me pretend to cry, but not offering international shipping?
Where are you, Carrie? I'll open it up. Like somebody from Canada asked me to.
She's in the UK.
She's in the UK. Okay.
Yeah, it's very easily changed on the campaign.
Yeah, message me, Carrie, on Find My Comic. Send me a message, and I'll get with you. I'll open that up for you.
Yeah. Are you on Instagram?
I am not on Instagram. No, I just have Facebook and Twitter.
Okay. And you are under Ben Soto on Facebook, where people can friend you and talk to you.
Yeah, we've got a page for Halloween Head Comics. So you can look up Halloween Head Comics and find our page.
Hey, Cricket. How do you message on Facebook? Well, first you friend him, and then it'll have a message box. It's real easy done. The reason I asked Instagram, she uses Instagram a lot.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I use X a lot, and I hardly ever look at Instagram except to send links to people. And same thing with Facebook. But it's pretty neat that they have Messenger over there, and you can see each other like this,
right.
I'm surprised you don't go up into like Denver Comic-Con or anything like that. Denver would be just not that far away from you, up above, depending on where you are in the state there. But I know my uncle used to get the worst weather to come through there, tornadoes
Oh
and
yeah.
blizzards, freezing weather, but it was always neat. We'd go hunting or flea markets. They got a lot of neat flea markets there. Open air
Right.
flea markets on the outside. I love Oklahoma.
Yeah. It's great. I
Yeah.
enjoy living here. I don't like the tornadoes, but yeah, I enjoy living here.
Oh, yeah, you can message on the campaign as well. Yeah, on Fund My Comic. And if you need help with that, I will walk you through it, Carrie. No problem. Yeah, Carrie likes your book. I think she's wanting to back your book, but she's in the UK, so yeah, we'll
Right.
have to figure out the shipping, but he can enable that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll need to get a shipping quote, and then open that up.
So Cephas over here on Fund My Comic, a vampire long thought dead returns for revenge. Along the way, he comes across a boy who needs his help to escape fate similar to his own. And I like, you can contact the creator. What's it want me to log in? What the heck?
Right.
Jump through those hoops.
Yeah.
Jump through those hoops.
Yep.
See there, you can go to all right, let me show you how I did that. So it says
contact creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just put the subject there in your message and send the message. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. How would you say, what is the personality of Cephas that you're kind of going
He's very
for? Grumpy old man, or
no, he's very stoic,
Yeah.
and kind of mournful. Like I said,
fatalistic?
he regrets what he's become, but he's using that regret, that anger to fight back those other monsters that are like him.
Is
Oh,
Fund My
so
Comic doing that?
They just announced they won't be shipping to the U.S. due to tariffs. Interesting.
She sent you a Facebook message, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who got married? Oh, Ben got married recently?
Not recently. We've been married for about 14 years, 15 years
on
now.
marriage, Ben. What the heck? How long you been married?
15 years. Yeah.
15 years. Congratulations,
15 years.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
And he's still alive and kicking. What I was going to
Yeah.
ask you, what your wife thought about your work.
Oh, she's one of my biggest fans. She's awesome. She's very supportive. Yeah.
That's not always the case,
No, it's not. I'm very lucky.
Yeah. You better hold on to her. I like that you with this, you're introducing a young child because that's kind of empathetic right there. Who can deny a child that's in trouble? And then also you need those Jimmy Olsen's, Lois Lane, and Perry White characters, right, to better explore what your character's like. And so what time does this take place in? I mean, how old is Cephas? Is he centuries old, or is he just like a newborn?
He's 200 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
By this point. Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully that brings some wisdom with it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook's pitch don't show how long someone has been married. No, but they tell you their person's birthday. It was Corey Barton's birthday the other day, I noticed, and I wished him a birthday. They if Facebook could, they would probably post your social security number.
Very true.
Medical history. They're like, hey, it's your birthday. Yeah, but I didn't want that to be known, and especially the women, they're like, no.
Yeah. Exactly.
My mother just turned 90 on the 15th, by the way.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And she's just now starting to lose some of her memory, she says. Change your diet. It'll come back. Yeah.
Right.
200 years old. Does he stalk a teenager like in Twilight? Crooked.
No, we just went over that. This is not like Twilight.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Nobody it was a hot thing at the minute for the little teenage girls or whatever.
The teeny boppers.
Whoever the demographic was for that.
Right.
But yeah, nobody wants to even talk about Twilight. Now it's like Twilight. Ugh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, I got to say the werewolf looked good and the vampire looked okay. I mean, I grew up on Dark Shadows,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dan Curtis, and then his movies and the other stuff that he did. He did Night Stalker, which was great.
Right. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Night Stalker with
Kolchak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kolchak. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Only 20 episodes. But now the Moss Monster that was in the subterranean tunnels, that was Andre the Giant, the wrestler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The credits. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that he's like a reporter, but it's like we're like the Inquirer. Doesn't get a lot of respect. And he shows up, no, not you, Kolchak, in the bad suit, the bad car. And
yeah. No, I love that show. It's great.
He's kind of the guy that shows up at the bar and go, don't look directly into his eyes. He'll ask you for something, or
right.
It's the guy you don't want to associate. If you start a conversation, you'll be there 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
He does everything wrong. He's got 2 left feet. That old straw hat. He was great for that. It's sad that it only ran 20 episodes.
Right. Yeah. I love that episode where he goes into the captain's room to steal like a photograph and he like hides it in his hat, puts it on, and they're like patting him down, make sure he didn't take anything. And he's like, I've got nothing. It's been in his hat the whole time.
Always got, and that's, now don't even go near this case. And then of course that's where he heads, And it was interesting. My brother brought that up one Christmas a few years back, and it's been more than a few years. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised you even remember that. And I said, yeah, I've got it all. And I think I was thinking about giving him, one of those. I don't think I ever bought it for him. I don't know. I might have gifted it for Christmas, but he thought it was all about vampires. I was like, no, only one vampire story. And I think that was a movie. That wasn't like the TV series. It's not just about vampires. It's about werewolves, one story, Moss Monster. It's about cryptid, different, different things. It kind of, and a big influence on like X-Files. Were you a big X-Files fan?
Yeah, I was.
I think I maybe seen one episode. I just opted out of that. I just never.
Yeah.
And, you got to save something for retirement and go, okay, I'll watch it now.
Yeah.
This is great. I should have watched this 40 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm one of those. I like to binge watch stuff. Do you binge watch, or do you even have time to binge watch?
Sometimes I do. It really depends. Like, I'll get home and I'll watch like an episode or two, and then like if it's the weekend, I'll watch like 3 or 4 episodes or something.
Yeah.
So
take us through your work routine. I mean, some days you color, some days you write, or what?
So I go through seasons. It's kind of the way I call it. It's like I'll go through like a few months where I'm just writing the stories. Gunsmoke. Yeah.
I just finished 20 seasons of Gunsmoke.
Oh, did you?
I've been talking about Gunsmoke for a long time. He's glad I'm off of it. Yeah, I went through all 20 seasons. I went to Atlanta.
I love those old westerns.
I worked a week in Atlanta early this, the only time that I missed just about any block of time, because I do this daily show, and everybody expects me here on time every day.
Right.
So I went down there and I said, well, I want to get my dog to the vet. That's the main thing. But there's one thing I want to buy for myself, and that's all 20 seasons of Gunsmoke. So I went on eBay and I bought a used copy, and watched. Yep. And it took me a while to go through 20 seasons, because seasons back then was like 27 episodes or something. That's a lot. And there were like They started out in 1955 and ended in 1975, and they started out as a 30-minute episodes, but then they quickly, it was so popular it went to an hour. So, if imagine watching an hour.
Right. Yeah. I've been watching Maverick right now.
Rifleman's where it's at. Yeah. Chuck Connors. Yeah. Well, what about Brandon?
Right.
But yeah, the Rifleman.
Yep.
I think he squeezes off in that little time span of a few seconds. It's amazing how many he squeezes off there. Did you know that Chuck Connors, that played the Rifleman, was a major league pitcher?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
But they never made a card of him.
Oh wow.
Pops or Fleer or anybody. They didn't. They never made it. He got to play with DiMaggio, I think, on that team. So around that era, around the 40s, it's amazing who, seeing. I knew a woman that had him on a plane. He was drunk and rude. She said,
oh wow.
And that fits Chuck, really.
Yeah.
Even though he kind of plays a squeaky clean father, on the Rifleman. Yeah. But they're all well written. I think we could look. Yeah. I think we could all, how do you do pacing though in your stories? Because that's very important, isn't it? To hit those beats.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got to keep an eye on the page turn, page turns where I want to see like the splash or just something really exciting, a reveal.
Right. Maybe a page turn reveal. You have to work that out with the printer, don't you? You have to hit the right page count. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely that. And then I try to change up the scenes like every 3 pages, at least 3 to 4 pages. So you don't get stuck on one scene for too long.
How many seasons do you have, Ben? I forget on what. On what?
Oh, I don't know. What were we talking about?
What you were talking about having seasons of.
I think you asked me about my workflow. Still, like I'll have a season of writing, and then I'll have a season of of coloring and drawing. So that's probably what he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, how'd you get into art? Did you always kind of doodle as a child and then kind of grow
because
up
of comic
with
books? Because of comic books. I love comic books and I want to draw comic books, and that's kind of how I started drawing.
Yeah. And so did you have any formal training or are you self-taught?
Mostly self-taught. I did go to college and take classes there. I was a visual studies major and with an emphasis in painting.
Yeah. Acrylic, oil, you did a little bit of both or
both? Yeah, acrylic and oil.
What do you like to work in when you paint?
Now I like doing watercolor because it's quick and fun. It's just quick and easy. Not a long dry time like with oils.
Color really adds volume and weight to a piece, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Put some meat on the bones.
Yeah.
What about your brother? Did he have any formal training like in college?
Yeah, he also went to college for art. I think I want to say his emphasis was drawing though, not painting. He's colorblind, but he did take painting classes.
Omar says, may we ask, what is your day job that keeps you away from your comic craft?
It's the exciting world of customer service for a box company.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We sell boxes.
Yeah. I think even for a self-taught artist, it's good to take a few formal classes. And I was always one of those that we had like an arts guild. I forget what it called, Jonesboro something. And they would have drawing classes during the summer and lettering, calligraphy, just different guests that would come in for a few times and we'd meet once a week or whatever. And for so many weeks and you'd pay your money to have an 8-week course on watercolor or drawing or something. Caricature, whatever, and they were always Jonesboro Foundation of the Arts. That's what it was sponsored by,
Okay.
And very, very enlightening, and then when I got into college, I was doing, started out in graphic design because unfortunately they don't have the Joe Kubert School of Sequential Art,
Right.
and people, oh, you want to draw comic books? You're one of those. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Check, please.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was the
we'll get 'em.
attitude. My
Yeah.
professors
I
as
don't,
well. Yeah.
and it's wild because comics are one of like maybe 5 or 6 things that you can look at that Americans, that Americans kind of came up with or
Right.
maybe popularized. I mean, it's considered an art form, kind of like jazz or baseball,
Yeah.
and yet it doesn't get much love over here in the States, but like in Europe, you'd probably be all the rage,
Yeah.
doing what you do.
Yeah.
Maybe we should move to Europe. Well, maybe not. I'll stay within the borders of America.
Right. Yeah.
When people start leaving America, then I might think about it, but now they're still wanting to come in. So we got to have something going for us, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think of Oklahoma, I think flat, I think hot, I think dusty, desert,
Yeah.
I don't guess it's much different than Arkansas, a lot of farming and
Yeah.
whatnot, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're at. Where I'm at, it's very green, lots of trees. There's a section of hills, some hills. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just going by what other people said, that kind of America. I think we're the ones that kind of put it in its current form, back in the 30s,
right.
and kind of got it out of the newspapers and into the floppies, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I won't call ice on him. Eliminate the competition. I know. Don't think I haven't thought about it, but I would never say that out loud. Thanks.
Right. It's a secret plan.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to know color theory, right? To do what you do.
Yeah.
It's digital coloring. How long you been working digitally? Since about college, or?
Yeah, since I was in college, somebody gave me a free copy of Photoshop. I want to say it was like Photoshop 4, maybe. And ever since then, I've just been messing with it and learning it.
Yeah. Well, he's got family down Texas, so sending him back down to Texas might be a reward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any more shows that you're planning to go on? Anything lined up?
Yeah, I'm doing Comic Skate Nights on September the 13th or 12th. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say the 12th.
We've been on there with you.
Yeah.
And I know Soul Tags over there on Fun My Comic has been.
Okay. Nice.
So, yeah, you'll be in good hands over there. Yeah, that's on a Friday night all the time.
Yeah.
Adam Hughes still uses CS2 with a mouse. Yeah, look, I prefer a mouse, and then I've had nothing but trouble with the ones that you put batteries in and they're wireless. I prefer the old school mouse. I'm sorry. I just do. I've had more trouble with the ones with batteries, it's just preferences. But then I'm still on Windows 7. So
Wow.
What can I say? Yeah. I'm almost glad you don't have a trailer. How did you get our fellow, we both sharing the same letterer here, although he's not lettering all my book because some of it's already been lettered, 29 pages of it. But how did you get with Keith Gleason? Just saw his advertisement for good lettering?
Yeah, I've known Keith for a couple of years now on just through YouTube and stuff. And I had him on my show a couple of years back when he was promoting what's the name of his book? The Serial Mascots. Mighty Mascots.
Yeah, Mighty Mascots, yeah.
Yeah. So I had him on my show. We're talking about that. And I saw that he does lettering, and so I just reached out to him because I liked his lettering. He does a great job.
Has he lettered any of your previous books?
Yeah. Volume 2
Yeah.
of Tricks and Treats. He did most of that book, and now he's working on Cephas.
I think it's a smart thing to go in demand, especially after fulfillment, because then people are advertising for you. Look what I got in the mail.
Right.
He fulfilled. Hey, it looks so cool. Thank you. And then it's like, yeah, that does look cool. Mate, can I still get it? And if you got it closed down, you lose those sales, I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Glenn says, Ben, run. Get away from Rex. Rex is technologically retarded. Yeah. Always amazed he can live stream. Yeah. Well, it was that basic program that floppy disk I put in there ages ago that does it. I've grown up with it. I started out with basic, and I just wanted to go the artistic route and not this technical route. Now you're younger and you fall into that where it's like, yeah, I've always had a cell phone. Now maybe you're a little older and you can remember a time you didn't have a cell phone. But, I mean, there's always been some kind of computer gaming or something there. And it does make a difference, I mean, when I was a kid, it's like go out and play with rocks and sticks. There was no cell phone. There was walkie-talkies, which was neat as hell,
Right.
2 cans and a string. I don't know if you've ever done that one, but that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But kids are going to feel their time with something, right?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite character in comic books? Is it Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Still?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still is.
What do you like about the character? What does that really speak to you of?
I think to me, he was the ideal superhero. Like his whole, with great power comes, responsibility. That just always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it just resonated with me. Like that means something.
Spider-Man.
It's an important lesson.
Done a little bit better with Sony, the movies and some of the other superhero movies. Which Spidey do you like? I kind of like I kind of like Tobey Maguire myself.
I liked
I
Andrew
know they
Garfield.
kind of got derailed.
Yeah. No,
I liked the third movie made a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely did. Yeah.
You think it's who did you say?
I liked Andrew Garfield. I liked his portrayal of Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Yeah.
He came after Tobey, right?
Yeah.
I love the mashup movie when all 3 of them are in there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. The one you mentioned, and he was in that war movie that was so good. He kind of reminds me of like an Italian actor with his looks and that head of hair. I don't know why. He just looks Italian to me.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe he's eating spaghetti on a scene or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he did. I think he did a pretty good job in the movies that he did. I think by and large, those are a little bit better than some of the other superhero. But when it comes to Spider-Man, let's face it, the Hulk's secondary to Spider-Man. Spider-Man's probably the best known, maybe more than Superman around the world.
Yeah.
It's just a handful of hero. I would say for Marvel, it's probably, Spider-Man, Hulk. And for DC, it's probably the big 3, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and there might be a few others you'd say, yeah, but what about,
right.
My favorite character, the Beast, does not have a chance. It's just not, Heartbreak Ridge. Yes, that's what it was. Sheldon. Yeah, that was a great movie. Have you seen that movie, Ben?
Yeah, wasn't it Hacksaw Ridge?
Hacksaw Ridge. Okay. Yeah, you're combining Clint Eastwood's Heartbreak with Hacksaw. Yeah, it was Hacksaw.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, and based on a true story too.
Yeah, it was.
He can barely type. Yeah, he's talking about me because I do all capitals. I took typing class. I know the home road keys and how to type. I just did not to do that. For me, I don't want to switch back more. And I don't care if people are going, why are you yelling at me? Which I think is so stupid. My God,
Right.
whoever comes up with stuff like that. It's stuff like that that's going to end civilization as we know it, folks. I would like to put you out in the wilderness and see if you can survive. Like
Yeah.
Daniel Boone. We have went from Daniel Boone days to where you're, like in all the Westerns, if you don't go for your gun when somebody rides up, you're crazy,
Yeah.
because there was no law that could get to you quick. And I mean,
Yep.
we complain today that they don't get within 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it's how did we get from tough, rugged individuals, to what we, it blows my mind, Ben,
We've had it good for too long, I guess.
I guess, but you're in a macho, predominantly red state,
Right. Yeah.
in Oklahoma.
Yeah. We got cowboys here, so
Yeah, you do. A lot of cattle, I guess.
yeah. Yeah.
Cattle, farming going on, agriculture, but you got your city scenes. Do you like to go to museums?
I did when I was younger. Like my wife and
Yeah.
I were first dating. That was one of the
Yeah.
things we enjoyed doing together, was going to museums, but it's been a while.
Now, does your wife draw or anything?
No,
What's her
she doesn't.
creativity? No.
No,
Let's see,
think. What does
pots
she
and
like?
pans and do the dishes and
Exactly, yeah.
do the
She's really
laundry.
good with the vacuum cleaner.
Scrub the
And
floor, woman.
right, yeah.
Yeah. One of those. I saw it coming. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Maybe it was the whip and crop stick back there by the books.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm glad she's supportive of you like that,
Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is your brother married and got a family and all that, and live close
He-
by, or is he out of state?
He's in Texas, I'm in Oklahoma. He just got married last year. Yeah.
So how do you communicate with him? Do you go on like Facebook Messenger and
Yeah,
talk
we
to
do a
him?
little stream like this. We do a private stream like once a
Private
week.
stream, and talk,
Yeah.
So are we going to see any of his work in this book or in any coming books under your
Yeah,
banner?
so he's drawn the Frightening Adventures of Little Jack. And
Okay.
I could show you some of that
Okay.
because he's already started drawing some of those
Share screen.
pages. Just give me a second.
And how big a book's that going to be, Ben?
That's looking to be about 36 pages.
Okay. Is that going to be your model going forward? Well, I guess it is, because you're talking about 36 with that, and all these in the miniseries are probably going to be 36 at least till you get those done. There's going to
Right.
be 4. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me share this.
How long you been streaming, Ben? Personally?
Maybe about 3 years,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. That's about when I got started.
So there you go. So this is the first page
Nico
of
says your catalog looks awesome. I don't know what he's talking about, but ooh, look at that.
yeah.
Drink that in, folks.
Yeah. So that's my brother's artwork right there.
Jeez. You need to hire this guy.
Yeah, I love that image right here.
What's the differences between your style and his, you think?
He's got a lot more influence from manga, I think. Like it's not very evident here, but he grew up watching like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. So I think his influence is a little more manga, whereas mine's more traditional.
You couldn't tell it from this page, though.
No, definitely not.
But I could supplement that character for Cobra Commander.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this looks like a snake cult or something.
Yeah, so this is a cult that they're going to be like the villains in the story.
Man, that's sweet.
Yeah. So here's another page.
Is this?
So you can probably see. Yeah, this is his work. You can probably see the manga influence more here in the faces.
Yeah. Very nice though, expressions, you know.
Yeah. But yeah. So
Very cool.
that's coming probably like another year or so.
Spoilers, folks.
Yeah, spoilers. You're getting a free glimpse here. Special preview.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing your brother's work there.
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist.
Yeah. So are you working on pages yourself for something upcoming? Because you're an
I'm
artist.
mostly I am an artist, but I'm mostly writing and coloring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that takes up a lot of time, doesn't it? How quick can you color a page? Depending on how complex it is, of course.
Yeah, it really does. It depends on how many panels, how complex the image
Your light
is.
sources and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
On average, what do you think you do? 2-3 days? What?
Probably 3 days to turn
Yeah.
out a page. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you just, I guess you got to continue doing that till it's done, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so you're averaging like 2 a week, 2 pages a day, or 2 pages a week, maybe
2 pages a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very clean. Yes. Very clean style of that. Yeah. Adventures of Billy Jack is what it's called.
No, Little
Now
Jack.
those weren't bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, on my drawn end here, we've got Crooked Painter who's out there. He's got a Billy Jack hat on.
Oh, nice.
You know, although it kind of gets cut off and you don't see. I call it a Haas hat too. You know, Haas had that big rounded cone head type,
Right.
you know, Western hat.
Yeah.
And yes, the actor that played Haas was in Gunsmoke. See, I got my Gunsmoke reference in. Besides, you know, Omer. And it probably wouldn't even mention Gunsmoke if he hadn't brought that up. So
Right.
your own fault, sir. But I found that hilarious that you brought that up. Yeah. So sci-fi, you know, some people that are horror fans are also sci-fi fans. Like Alien is the best of both worlds, right?
Right. Yeah, it definitely meshes both of those
Do
genres.
You like sci-fi stuff?
I do like sci-fi stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like Star Trek, Star Wars, both, or?
So before I got married, I was really into Star Wars, but my wife is a Trekkie, so she pulled me more into the Trekkie world.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
I know what happened. You know, she got you in the living room and said, "Here's the Vulcan neck pitch. Let me try that on you, and you can get up off the floor when you know, come over to the dark side."
There's so many times I ask her to make me a sandwich, and then all of a sudden I just wake up and I've got like, you know, the pinch marks on my neck, and I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Well, better than Cephas ripping, you know. Yeah. Would you call him a badass character that he's like tears them limb from limb? I mean, he's out strike for revenge. So it looks like from this he was converted when he was a child, or am I misreading the artwork?
He's a young man. I would say in his early 20s.
Okay. And does his aging stop at that point?
It does, yeah.
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 Yeah. So you have a whole covenant. You probably got different covens around the world, right? I mean, how infested is your world? And I think I asked you that, but could I ask that question again? Does this take place on Earth in present time, or is this okay?
Yeah, it's Earth present time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And there is a villain for a future story past this short miniseries that it'll be in a different series.
Hey, Mike.
And his plan is to raise up all the vampires and take over the world.
Yeah. I often thought, you know, well, what do you do when you run out of victims?
Right. Yeah.
You start feeding on rats and other deer,
or you gotta breed humans. Right. You gotta breed humans like livestock.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a way. Yeah, breed them like livestock. You know, some of us might sign up for that, Ben.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
with 3 or 4 babes, you know, let's see what happens.
Right, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
If they're old hags, well, maybe, you know, come on.
Right.
Yeah, maybe that's a different story, but I think they're going to want good stock, you know.
Right.
Yeah. they're going to take a look at my hair and say you're past your prime expiration date.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd be food for the grease, grease for the wheel. Yeah. Do you have a favorite vampire?
Bela Lugosi's Dracula. I think it's just the
Yeah.
classic vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of the template, isn't he? But
Right.
I think the scariest one was Franz Lang's, Nosferatu, the
Yeah.
silent movie. That's,
Yeah.
he was more plague-ridden rat-like in that,
Right.
that new movie that came out recently kind of played to that, looked
Yeah.
like more, plague. They really put the plague into it. Like, and I kind of like that. It's disease. You don't want to, it's occultic. You don't want to mess with it,
Right.
Actually, one of the first comics I ever read was Werewolf by Night Annual #2, King Size Annual, and it had Frankenstein's monster in it going up against Jack Russell, which I just laugh at that name now. I've actually got
Yeah.
Jack Russell sitting right there. Werewolf by Night, and
Yes.
but on the cover is, and I had to beg my grandmother for the 50 cents, the 52 cents to buy it in the farm. You don't want to read this.
Right.
She's going through it. I was like, I didn't care if she ripped the cover off of it. I just want, and it's like, yes, I do. I want that, and it had an upside down cross and some cultists, and the woman's splayed out there. He's got the dagger gonna,
Yeah.
And the monster's there. And I was like, yes, I want that. And I got it. And yeah, it was my first comic book. My first anything Marvel was Vampire Tales #5.
Oh, nice.
And this
beautiful cover.
Yeah. Nice painted cover. You think you'll ever do a painted cover?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the Nocturnals comic book? Or have you heard of that one? Nocturnals?
Which one's that one?
Who did the Nocturnals? I had to yield to the chat. Does anybody know who did the Nocturnals? I can't remember the artist. He's kind of does a painterly style. He worked in Omega Men for DC Comics at one point.
Yeah, the title sounds familiar, but I can't picture the book.
Yeah, it's kind of Halloweeny like yours,
Let me look it up.
There you go. Good, Google it. And
Yeah.
I love all this knowledge is just at our fingertips.
Exactly.
If I only knew how to type, right, Omer? I've already had a meeting with Omer, by the way. That's probably why I'm a little today.
This looks really cool.
Who the creator was for that? Yeah, he's looking at it. Yeah,
Dan Brereton.
Yes, Dan Burton. Yeah,
yeah. This looks awesome. No, I've never seen this one.
Yeah. He also did some like prestige format, World's Finest covers.
Okay. Yeah.
On like a mini series. I think you're very smart with going with the mini series thing. So I guess you've got the whole thing written out.
I've got it plotted out. I don't have it scripted, but I have it all plotted out. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you like to work? One way that I like to work is kind of like a riff on the Stan Lee method, but I like them to turn in the art. I like to do thumbnails and show the artist.
Okay.
If I'm not going to do the artwork myself, I like to show them kind of what I want, and give them leeway to do, like you said, have fun with it. And because I think that way they can play to their strengths.
Yeah.
A person that can't draw horses well, I don't want to go to that person. Right. If I'm going to have horses in it,
Yeah.
So you really have to take that into account when picking an artist. Right.
Right.
Unless they're Neil Adams. And then you're like, yeah, I want them going to the moon on, and just all, and I want an A train there. I want the Eiffel Tower in the background, anything difficult, I want imagine an old brownstone with the fire escape, zigzagging.
Right.
That takes time to draw, not everybody can do it and do it precise,
right.
Not everybody's a good draftsman when it comes to comics, oh, I can do comics. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, us as writers, it's easy to come up with something, but it's very hard. It's another thing to put it down on the page, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
Besides
I write.
words.
Yeah, I like to write full script form just because that's the way I see it in my head, and so that's the
Uh,
way I need to. That's the way I need to get it out.
yeah,
But whenever I turn that script over to Mario, I just tell him like have fun with it. If there's anything you want to change, go for it. So he'll like write me back and be like, "Hey, is it okay if I do this, do that?" Like, yeah, do it. Like if he has any questions for me, he's like, "Is it okay with this?" I'm like, "Yes." Like you do you, make it your own.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's important. And so, do you think are you the older brother or younger brother?
I'm the older brother. Yeah,
You're the older brother. So did he kind of look to you as you and kind of get some of that drawing and writing bug from you?
I think so. I think because we were both into comics at the same time. He's 7 years younger, and
Yeah.
so
Wow.
if you want to hang out with me while I was like drawing and stuff, he would sit down and draw too. And so yeah, we both got into art at the same time.
I, I I doubt he's got boobs in his comic because I asked him about the sexiness. That's one thing I'm working on is creating more villains because I created
Yeah,
a bunch of heroes, but they got to have good villains, right? And
right,
then I
right.
didn't have very many women characters. What I do have, I'm very satisfied with, but I need
Mm,
more women characters. So I mean, I'm trying to create
yeah,
more women and more villains right now for my universe. Um,
nice.
and it just takes time to lay that foundation, doesn't it? I think it's
Yeah,
cool that this is not his first appearance. It's probably his second appearance, right, Cephas?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now, is this the first time he's been on a cover?
Yes. Well, actually, no. He was in the cover of the Tricks or Treats Volume 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
not very prominent. But
So
yeah,
this will be like his second. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a character I really love in Malibu called Trencher and not Trencher, called Thrasher. And he's kind of like an Aquaman character, but he kind of looks like
Okay.
Wolverine or like maybe even closer to uh, Sabretooth, with that
Okay.
because he's got a lot of hair and stuff and it's blue.
Yeah.
But great design on that character. And I think even the name's probably public domain, but he he was only on one cover and he was laying on the ground defeated and with his back turned to you. And that's the only cover you got with that character. And I'm like, God,
Man.
to this day, he'll probably, and I think now those characters may be owned by Marvel and they're not doing them. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if they own them or not. I don't know.
I think they
So,
do own the Malibu characters, but yeah, they're just in
yeah. Well,
purgatory.
the Ultraverse, yeah. I don't know if this
Yeah.
was like part of the Ultraverse characters or not, like Prime
Mm,
was.
right.
But yeah, he was part of the Protectors, the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Protectors. R.E. Jones lives here in Oklahoma, so I got to buy the books off of him.
Yeah. So how big's your collection? You still got your childhood collection?
I've got, well, let me see if I can show you here. Move my camera over.
Let me open the vault door. Whoa,
Yeah.
crap. Look at that.
Yeah.
Are
That's my
those long
stack of,
boxes or short?
they're short boxes.
Yeah.
I've still got some boxes back in Texas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I would like to do is buy just a bank,
Yeah.
a small little bank and it would have like a walk-in vault.
That would be cool.
Just buy the whole building, but it's got a built-in vault. You can't put
Yeah.
money on that, folks. If they drop
Yeah.
a nuke, I don't know if it'd save you. You'd probably run out of air and have to get some.
Yeah.
But you might have a day or two to say your prayers. Before you had to open the
Guarantee
door.
to read a comic book. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you could read all your comic books because they'd be in there, a nice, safe sound. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I kind of miss those old days of the old newsprint smell and all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Peter Smedig ran that campaign. Now you can
Mhm.
you can get through him. I think
Yep.
he's really smart to kind of cut out the middleman. And do you print your books locally? Do you have a good printer where you're at?
Not locally. I couldn't find anybody locally that would do it for a good price. Everybody
Okay.
want to charge me like start an arm and a leg. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, there's a printer in Florida that I'm using called Comic Impressions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild. That
Yeah.
here I am in Oklahoma and I got to go all the way to Florida to get. But
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. it seems like what's up with these local printers? You go to the local printers, they're like, yeah, it costs you a kidney.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, no way, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah. They're
really
like,
got to
yeah,
count that, your margin is pretty thin,
it really is.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you seen a steady increase on your campaigns?
As far as what goes,
I don't know, the
like
money
backer
wise,
numbers or
backer numbers. Yeah.
yeah, so backers have gone up with this campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of getting some traction then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a very eye catching character, you
Yeah.
know, and the
Thank you.
way you've colored him, sort of like I don't know, a maroon, purplish, I don't know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I've just watched that Flash movie where he goes to the future and
Yeah.
things have changed and he has to
Right.
recreate the lightning thing and he gets burned the first time, like third-degree burns all over him, and he's all wrapped
Right.
up. And he does it again, sits in the chair, but this time it works, So he had to go
Right.
through that, be struck by lightning twice to get his powers back.
Yeah.
And then once he gets the Speed Force, of course he heals up like Wolverine real quick. But
Right.
uh, Batman, who's Thomas Wayne in that reality, is thinking this guy's off his rocker. 'Cause
Yeah.
in fact, he says it. You belong in Arkham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started out with Batman, but you gravitated to
Spider-Man.
So
Yeah.
would you say that probably Marvel's a greater influence on your writing of your own comics than DC?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Does your wife collect?
No, she doesn't, but she'll read
Or
every once in a while.
pat you on the head and say, "That's all right, honey. I love you
Right.
anyway."
Exactly. Yeah.
Who cooks in your house? You or her, or both of you?
Both of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like good food, man,
Yeah.
it's like my mother admitted to me just a few years back, I never enjoyed cooking for you kids. I just did it out of necessity,
Right.
She's
Right.
not one that enjoyed cooking,
Oh, that's
which is
interesting. Yeah.
amazing because she made, to this day, she makes a roast better than I ever could,
Right.
But, I enjoy getting in the kitchen and cooking.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it too.
Yeah. Ben's going, where is this interview going with? It's like we're getting
Going from Spider-Man to cooking dinner. Yeah.
It's one of those days, Ben. What can I say?
It's all good.
It's all good, right? Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah.
Good looking campaign though, and it's not your
Thank you.
first campaign, like you said.
Right.
Well, let me put it back up on the screen here. There we go. It's so how much of the book is done? How far along are you with it now to be completed?
Yeah, so I've got Mario has sent me like another 5 pages. I think we just need like another 4 more pages to go or so, and then we'll be done.
Okay. And then
So
of
I
course
think
you got to do your coloring
right.
and then Keith does his lettering as the pages come in.
Yeah, I haven't sent Keith any pages in a while, so he's gonna get a good batch whenever it's time for that.
Yeah. Is he pretty quick? You say you've used him before.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. At 50 backers, a second card will be unlocked and artists will be revealed. The first 50 backers will receive both cards and the next 50 receive one. Work in progress has been blurred and pixelated for my personal amusement. You beast.
Yeah.
But for now, I guess Fabrizio, how'd you connect with him to do you this piece?
I asked him to.
Did you
Just reached out to him. I colored it, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's got a great Gothic scale,
Yeah, he does.
Style, he's got a lot of pulp influence on his stuff, I think, which predated comic books.
Right.
So here, see, you're not a writer, I mean, you're not an artist. You're just a colorist, a writer.
Right.
You don't self-identify as an artist. It's like, isn't a colorist an artist? People say that,
Right. You got to specify,
Yeah. Are you going to any other platforms? Probably not with this, right? You're going to stick with Fun My Comic.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my comic.
Yeah. Are you excited that there's some larger names going over there and bigger campaigns and that it's
Definitely. It's great for to get traffic in there and get other people to see other projects. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, I think it is too, and it's long overdue. And we were after COVID, we were screaming for a platform, and Luke created one.
Yeah,
not by himself in a vacuum, but and I think we should get behind it and support it.
definitely.
I
It's important.
love that you can set up your own pay date.
Yeah,
You can get paid within 5 days, and they can help go to pay artists and letterers and whatever you need
right.
it to go to, right? Pay the
Exactly.
bills
Yeah,
on the book or personal bills, because you're going to be out some money creating a comic book in full
yeah.
color like you've done. Of
Right.
course, you kind of cut that down because you're the colorist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you influenced by any colorist yourself that's done comics?
Yeah, definitely. My 3 favorite colorists are Betty Brightweiser, Frankie D'Armata, and Marty Gracia.
Okay. And did you buy a lot of the Image stuff growing up
I
when it
did.
was out
Yeah,
there?
I
Yeah.
was totally into Image.
So you are so close to $1,000 here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just renewing it here. But yeah, you're just about $40, less than $40 away from $1,000. So if you can help him out, hey, great cloudy
Yeah.
thoughts. I was thinking about you today, and even though like Gray doesn't come by every day, and I know he's watching, and I appreciate it, and I do think about you guys. When you do this every day, you kind of become family. It's like, I
Right.
wonder what's Gray doing. He's not the only Gray. There's a Gray man from the UK that comes in. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
nice.
I put you up close here, and you're halfway off the camera.
No, you're good.
Got to back away from Ben. He radiates comic bookology. I want to give
There you
you
go.
a final word. I want to give you the final word. So give us your self pitch for Cephas and all your other work, and where
Oh, okay.
they can find you out
Yeah,
there
so
in
you
the
can find
ether.
me. Yeah, you can find me on X under Benjamin Soto, or you can find me on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page there for Halloween Head Comics. Yeah, so Cephas is a story again. It's about an outcast vampire who's out for revenge and comes across a boy who is being chased by monsters and needs his help, and so he steps in to help out,
But now
taking on that hero
that's the
mantle.
first story of a mini series.
Right. Yeah.
And what are you going to try and set up in this mini series? Are you going to try and make him see if he's going to become popular enough to have staple after this, or where he'd have a long running series, or after that
Yeah.
another number one issue or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes. We'll see if people respond to it. I
Yeah.
just focused on getting these first 4 issues out, and we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Wrap it up in a nice little tight little bundle for everybody, and then
Right.
hopefully, because
Yeah.
nothing says he survives the 4th issue, folks. Just saying.
That's very
possibility.
true. Yeah, it's very
He
true.
might just say, "I'm tired of this. I'm going to kill him off."
That might
In a
happen.
fantastic way. It might happen, right?
Yeah.
Buy his book and find out. Absolutely, getting to that $1,000 mark and above over there on Fund My Comic. Yeah, I like that you can set it up that you can get paid within 5 days.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
what I did on my campaign. So, like, very quickly, I had an artist that said, "I'll do some work for you. There's no reason
Nice.
why you just need to be sitting there doing nothing. I'll do some
Right.
pro bono, and you pay me when you pay me." And so when the campaign money came in, I paid him like $750, and that that
Nice.
was
Yeah.
like all in one bundle.
Right.
So it went out the door as quickly as it came in. But I got
Yeah.
with Indiegogo, you got to because I did an Indiegogo, and you got to you got to wait till like 3 weeks after the campaign
Yeah.
closes to get your money. And
Yep.
when you got, to pay people commission, it's just a lot better on, and you can't beat the 1% that they're taking
Right.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, because they say they promote you on other platforms, but they don't.
No, they really don't.
Not to justify what they take out.
Right.
Just my personal. But
No, I completely agree. Yeah.
Well, Ben, say the magic words and we'll get out of here. And they are 2
All right.
words. Keep collecting.
Keep collecting.
See there? He nailed it in one.
There we go.
Didn't need a prompt, didn't need a cue card. He's a professional. Go check out Ben on YouTube. He does have his own YouTube channel, and that is under your name, right? Ben Soto?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. And how often are you putting content, and what kind of content do you put up on that?
Mostly I'm doing interviews. Like I'll interview writers on a show I call Word Slingers. This last week I did a show called Creator Hangout, where I just hung out with other creators and we talked about their books and their projects.
Mm-hmm.
So just stuff like that. A lot of interviews.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, it's not everybody that likes to do interviews and kind of get out there. And, we as artists, we're probably introverts to a certain degree, right? But you really do have to get out there and promote,
Yeah.
If you're going to do the crowdfunding thing, which is I've done like eBay for like 20 years. So, you're selling directly to the, and that's not always a good thing because they're like, well, I want my money back or whatever. And it's like, God, you do deal with some nuts and flakes out there, folks. Just say,
Right.
And same thing in crowdfunding. We could come on here and say the wrong thing and people would be demanding a refund,
Right. Yeah.
So it's best just to, come out of the shell a little bit, but maybe not all the way,
not too much. Right.
Yeah. Talk about controversial things. They're alienating, potentially, a big portion of their supporters.
Yeah.
And I'm not big enough to do that yet. If you're big, selling in $1 million worth, maybe you're big enough to alienate some, and you won't even feel it. But
right.
It's
very true.
Just be nice. It's the weekend. Go out, enjoy yourself. Thanks for dropping in. Thank you, Ben, once again for coming in.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
I want to come back in the future. And,
definitely.
Maybe closer to your closing, or something.
Okay.
I always like
good.
to have people back and see what's going on in your life. And, we just had RJ Williams on, and he's got a crowdfunder called Sign of Ryan over there on Fund My Comic, kind of a sci-fi type thing. He just had a baby girl. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got some news too about a child, but I can't say anything because my daughter said not to. Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, he already said the magic word, so bow for now. Take care.